What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blaze again with King's Critiques, and we're back for Botan Kamiina. And I just had like 3 different technical issues happen right before I started recording, so that's always fun and enjoyable. But we're here for the show, and hopefully we can continue without more bullshit happening. Number 1 caveat for the episode, though, is going to be, of course, as I say during a lot of time during the summer, I apologize for the air conditioner if you hear it, because I was going to start recording, and one of the technical issues being that black, sun, hot. Should I have worn a different shirt? Sure. Would it have made too much of a difference? Probably not. I probably still would have needed the AC. But, you know, I had to wear something sorta kinda Yuri relevant to record Yuri-based shows, because that's kinda how I do things here when I can. Neither here nor there. Don't remember quite what happened in the last episode. What I do remember happening whether it's the last episode or the one before that, was something I got reminded on Facebook of Botan and Itsuki sharing a hot spring together, as well as sharing a little bit of a drink together. Maybe not. Wait, was it a proper hot spring, or was that the foot hot spring last episode? One was one episode, the other was the episode surrounding it. Regardless. Now we're going to see what kind of fun adventures are going to happen with Botan, Itsuki, and the rest of the girls. Because we got the finale happening tomorrow or Friday, so I at least want to get a few episodes today, and then I'll get a few more episodes in the next day or two, so I can edit down the whole thing without much problem. Editing has been a problem recently, but, you know, I'm going to try and do better about that. But that being said, let's just get into things, shall we? Of course, reminder, hit the like button, subscribe, let the whole video run through the watch time if you're not going to hang out and check it out. Reminder that subscribing to the Patreon will give you the full episodes of things I do, you know, like 99% of the time, unless, you know, I don't get a new sub, whether it be official or one I have to, like, force in, because Patreon is a bad platform and doesn't just let me upload for funsies. Again, neither here nor there. Let's get to it. For 2 seconds, I almost thought that was like Gujo having a dream or something about the past with Itsuki in like high school before they even met Botan and the other girls. But no, that was Itsuki dreaming, I believe. I love how honest she was about that. Did I leave you out here long waiting in the heat? Yup! Like, okay. Sorry? Again? No, she was just fucking with her a little bit. Okay, 1, if you've never been to a bar before, asking for the usual doesn't help people. For 2, I think she's thinking way too deep into having to look unsuspicious, and I don't think unsuspicious is a word. So, hold on. See, the phrasing in this, I know what she means by it. You know, dressing more casual would have been fine for Botan to do instead of going to class in a dress. But, why do I feel like Botan's going to get drunk and that exact kind of sentence is going to come back up later? Like, I'm just saying that now, so if it happens... Well, yeah. Okay. He does kind of look like the vision that Botan was having in her head, though. I will admit that. Maybe, like, a little more beachy than she was thinking. She was thinking, like, the old school kind of wise old man behind the bar with a mustache just kind of idly cleaning a glass. But, close enough. The bar does look pretty seedy, though. Definitely the kind of place, like they showed Noshinoko, where somebody would go meet somebody about a huge scoop. Or to meet their mistress for a night. Well, yeah, you get, like, a simple drink to start. I'm not a drink expert, but I have heard of a salty dog before. I don't know what it is, but if it's something I've heard of before, it's probably simple enough. I'm probably wrong. Aww. Like, her saying this was a huge compliment to him. Honestly, Botan has to be the best girl of this anime season. Like, regardless on if you want to talk attractiveness, kindness, badassness. No, she has to be the best girl of the season. Like, she doesn't even have to try, and she's complimenting people. Oh no, somebody is in the bar with them. Is Itsuki going to get... fuck, what's the word? self-conscious. Yeah, that's the word. Yep, and this is where Botan's brain is going to start turning like, she's not going to drink. She's going to be too embarrassed to drink. I gotta get rid of these guys. Oh, okay, well, I was close in my assumption of her feeling self-conscious, but it's one of those things to where somebody else existing in your parameter shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable enough to have to move. Like, and that's a double-ended way of things, by the way. I'm not just saying, like, because they exist, she should feel self-conscious and have to move. Because, like, there's that end of things, but then there's also, like, the people near you being assholes enough that it makes you want to move. Neither of those things should have to be a thing. And I've been in the latter position to where I've been out to eat and stuff, and people are just doing the most hooligan of activities, and if I was eating by myself, probably would have asked to move just so I didn't have to see them being stupid. But in this case, she shouldn't have to move just because they opted to sit nearby. Like, before they even get their drinks, Botan is probably going to say something. Because if Ibuki is comfortable enough not minding the bartender seeing her hiccup, then no, she's gonna move. Botan ain't gonna say anything. Or is she? I don't think she's drunk enough to say anything yet. Couple more drinks, and she might. Oh, that's a really telling way of drawing that, honestly. Like, Botan doesn't mind seeing people see how she gets when she's drunk. Meanwhile, Ibuki is stuck in the darkness once again, even if she has somebody to drink with. And she's feeling apologetic just because she gets very hiccupy. Oh, I do kind of hope, like, at some point Botan tells them off for, ruining Ibuki's comfortability. Because I know it's not fully Ibuki's fault, but also, like, I don't know exactly how I'll phrase this, because yes, people should be allowed to sit where they're allowed to sit. And it's not like they were innately doing anything wrong. And I'm never fully for supporting, feeding into somebody's comfortability. But in this case, I feel like, yeah, it's something that she gets really bad mood-wise about. So I feel that maybe, I don't know, people could try more. Like, that's why Botan goes to her room to drink a lot, so they can just drink together, alone, without anybody else seeing what's happening. And they were going to finally take a leap, a jump, a try with something new. And it didn't go well. So, I don't know, I'm kind of like at a weird place with how to feel about this. I do feel like in these cases, maybe respect is not a bad thing to apply, but we'll see how it goes for the rest of the time. I've paused every few minutes, and I hate over editing these things. But also sometimes I just have to obviously share my opinions because that's how the reviewing part of things works. Even if YouTube doesn't understand, that's how the review process works, and I've had to slaughter my videos and how I edit them. It really is terrible that people are like that, though. Like, laughing at somebody for hiccuping too much is one thing, if it's playful fun. But telling somebody it's obnoxious is just a dick move. Like, especially if it reduces somebody to be, in this kind of mindset. I understand this mindset. This is the kind of mindset I get derived in with other things. I've driven myself to tears while thinking about things because of how my mindset is. And honestly, one of those times is pertaining to this whole thing, but again, that's neither here nor there. This is not about me. This is about the fact that I hope one of these days maybe they run into some of Ibuki's old friends and they get told off. We still have a bunch of episodes till the end of the season, so that very well could happen. Because we know in a lot of these anime shit like that tends to happen where they run into old people who brought drama into their lives and then somebody told them off. whether it be the person who they were targeting or somebody related to the situation. Well, kind of, sort of. So I'm kind of hoping that that happens, see them like episode 10, 11 or something, and Botan tells them to, fall down a hill or something. Because nobody should be reduced to this kind of thing without proper provocation. When you've actually done something wrong, sure, bring somebody to tears. But when they're actually just like unable to help something and then you bring them to tears, that makes you a boss and you need to be pushed down a very tall hill. Also, sorry. Big, thumbs up to the bartender because he understands. And that definitely shows that he's been in the job a while. Like, man looks like he's probably, I don't know, give or take around my actual age, late 20s, early 30s, that kind of thing. But it seems like he's been doing the bartending thing for long enough to where he understands people. Because, like, he takes compliments well, he gives people what it seems they want without needing to think too much on it. He's a nice guy. And honestly, if they show up at this bar more often throughout the rest of the season, I don't mind seeing him being a reoccurring character to maybe, like, give his own insightful words of wisdom from the only relevant man of the show. Honestly, that whole sentence, yeah, I kind of get that. You could even tell that it was on there, because they, like, yeah, they even drew Akane sweating while she was chatting. Like, you could automatically tell how hot it was in show. And this statement, obviously, yeah, I kind of feel. Like, it's not even that bad, but mid-70s is still pretty bad. Again, especially when wearing black. Like, me and black shirts do not go together in 70-degree plus heat. But, like I said, I decided to do this because of the sake of wearing a shirt to similarly match the vibe of the show, whether it be exactly or just genre dependent. And, well, after the last season we actually got a Ruby, Yuri is 100% a genre included. And honestly, when we get Volume 10, wouldn't mind them committing to it a little bit more. But that's just me. Anyway. That's a good potential thumbnail. You know how I am with these things. I love how many shifts in tone the artwork on this show has. Because it goes from beautiful to comedic to lazy to artistic. This show has so many different ways of doing art. I love it so very much. Especially with things like this, to where it's pure comedy, to where you can tell Gujo's like, if you say a word, I'm going to take that knife and use it for something other than cooking. And Akane is aware of what that fucking hand on her shoulder means. She's actually kind of afraid. It's like, yep, it is cooking 100% exactly what you were talking about. Yep, let me just go back and practice my guitar and leave you two to it. Again, the look on the face of Gujo while she brings up a measuring cup while asking about kitchen scale. I know what scale is, so therefore I could only imagine what a kitchen scale looks like. It's probably probably similar to what a scale to your vegetables looks like. Yeah, vegetables. Hey, look, I was right. Exactly like the kind of scale used to weigh your vegetables. Meanwhile, Gujo's just thinking about how Ibuki might feel about the whiskey, but she's probably not going to get to find out. Like, she'll have to live vicariously through Botan, because... Sorry, slight distraction. Yeah, Ibuki's probably not even going to try it in Gujo's presence, unfortunately. But, And, unfortunately, she probably still won't want to drink. Like, here's the crazy part about that whole thing. Literally, if Botan just told everybody what Ibuki's little situation is, not a single one of them would care. Like, I can bet you that. Gujo has the high desire to want to drink with her, but of course she's not going to let her because of her little, like, thing, her quirk that's so bad about her. Again, honestly, though, I hope, like, they meet those former friends of Ibuki's and Botan bitch smacks the hell out of them in a later episode, but... Meanwhile, this is sudden, Botan's like, birthday. When is her birthday, by the way? Botan isn't quite as jealous as Gujo when it comes to the whole, drinking alongside Ibuki. She actually is encouraging it for them to be able to drink together. Now, again, unlikely, but that also shows more how pure-hearted Botan is with this whole situation. Her liver is a different story, because she's drank at least once every single episode so far, so that's probably not good for her system, but they're all a bunch of alcoholics, aren't they? That's also a crazy side thought to this show, is in addition to, of course, the Yuri part of it, doesn't it kind of, like, paint alcohol in a better light than it actually is? Whatever, if it helps people connect, I suppose it's not all bad, is it? In, small doses. So is Yaka going to get a chance to drink with her before Gujo, or is she just gonna pass on the probable offer that's gonna come up? Honestly, I think it'd be kind of more messed up if Akane and Yaka get the chance to drink with her before Gujo, because that'd even make her, like, more jealous. Also, derived away from that, how the hell was she just sitting alone in a room in the dark? Like, I could never comprehend how people do that. Then again, I'm the type of person that, granted, I don't always hear voices. I'm not that level of schizophrenic, usually. But I do hear things that I don't need to hear a lot of the time. Random idle sounds going on, random crickets or buzzing or something. And that drive me insane. Okay, so Hot Springs trip round 2 for these two? Because they already experienced the other place they could drink. But I'm guessing they're about to go on another little trip together. Oh, no, Gujo actually took her on the little trip. Wow, I thought it'd be Botan again. What's wrong with your Eurobeat? Honestly, it's better than what it could be. I've gone over my taste in music multiple times in episodes, both in recent and for our history. But hey, Eurobeat is at least not that bad, Especially when you just hear, Deja vu! Sorry, the initial D thing is what comes to my mind every time I hear Eurobeat. Or, ironically, the Euro metal band Volbeat. What came first, Volbeat the Pokemon or Volbeat the band? Let me know in the comment section. And this isn't a meme, I genuinely am not sure because I've never Googled what came out first, that band or Ruby and Sapphire. Oh, we get to see them? Like, damn. You can't ask if she liked them more than the one she went to with her future girlfriend. You just can't. And she actually did just ask, what do you mean by that? And get the response, wouldn't you like to know? So obviously the way I put it was how she was asking it. Crazy. And Botan just shoved the thing in her bag to try and be helpful. Right. So Botan isn't just a great flirt herself when drunk. She's also a really good wing woman. You're making excuses, Ibuki. It's just you two. Nobody else to say shit. And she will not care. Okay, you know what? Actually, Ibuki makes a good excuse on that one, telling Gujo she's the driver in this case. And Gujo's like, fuck, she's right. Well, we can have a drink now and wait a couple of hours. Because much as they say it doesn't matter how much longer you wait until after you drink, is that really true? Because, I mean, if somebody drinks and then sleeps, do they still technically have alcohol in their system? Yeah, maybe, but they slept it off. Like, I'm not encouraging drinking and driving, obviously, but I will say there are some cases that might be an exception. You know, I've drank with people who have drank alcohol before, or I've driven with people who drank alcohol before, and a couple of those cases weren't so bad. Which, funny and on topic, I've driven with women and men drunk, or at least that have been drinking. And do you want to know who has a better ratio of being a better driver? The women. Like, there's a lot of crazy shit online nowadays about, women, men, blah, blah, blah. But this is one of those facts that I will say from my personal experience. Women having drank and drive, that's not correct grammar to use, but it's what I'm using. Women definitely do it better. Because I've driven with my, 60-something-year-old mother after she's had a few. Perfectly fine. I've driven with a 20-something-year-old ex-girlfriend of someone who's friends with us. She didn't do too terrible either. Granted, I didn't pay attention to how many she had in the night when I had her drive me home, but that's neither here nor there. Fact is, I also have I also have been in the car with my cousin. Are they both cousins? Yeah, I guess the other one is still a cousin because he's the father of my cousin. So yeah, I've driven with two male cousins of mine who drink regularly, and they both are fucking awful at driving in theory. Granted, one of them has never had an accident that's his fault. But I still don't trust him on the road. Now she's trying to bring up a counterpoint of, will you drink with me when we get back? Ibuki? Bon. Actually, I probably should have, talked during that to mention that that's another potential thumbnail image, because that looks like it could be, the poster image for a movie. Matter of fact, it does kind of remind me of the poster image for Your Name, or one of those similar kind of movies. Awkward. Ibuki smokes too? First time I've seen that. Or it's her first time smoking. Well, at least it didn't destroy her initially. One, I'll bring up again, I know who does that ending theme, I just cannot think of it. But, the ending animation does change every episode, so maybe I will go back and watch those first few. But more importantly, what I have to bring up is the feeling of, that the vibe of things is similar to how Watanabe went, but it's also different. You know what I mean? To where, it is obvious that two people are, well, matter-of-factly crushing on the same person, but it's also, a tone difference as well. Because, what happened at the end of the episode there was something similar to the lines of, Ibuki reciprocating those feelings, maybe, perhaps, by chance? Because, there was sort of a, metaphor isn't the word I'm looking for, but the two butterflies flying away together representing Gujo and Ibuki, that was probably saying something in of itself. So, in the moment, with everyone living there, you have, your triangle effect of, both Gujo and Botan seem to have a thing for Ibuki, even if it's 90% friendship intended. It's not just in that case, as we can tell, because Botan, when she gets drunk, is incredibly flirtatious, and Ibuki has been accepting and reciprocative of that to an extent to a high degree. And Gujo, obviously, getting hella jealous at the whole situation, did kinda have a plan, and it kinda fell on its face because Ibuki talked logic into her that they cannot drink at all, even though they could a little bit, because she has to drive, which makes sense. Could have just waited till they got back or whatever, or stopped at an inn or something, but she brought it up a little too early. And then Ibuki tried a cigarette for the first time. Now, is that a good sign for Gujo? Who knows? Guess we'll see. One of those times where I guess let me know your thoughts on how much that actually helps Gujo's case or not in the comment section. Because clearly, there's still some sort of issue with Ibuki drinking with her. Probably, saliva in the wrong place. Probably because she still doesn't want to admit to her little quirk about that Botan just so happened to find out about, and now they're all simpatico, and yeah. Because, I get the Watanabe vibes of the Ajisai, Mai, and Renako thing going on here, to where it might come down to maybe they all drink together at some point. Maybe Botan gives that little push into Gujo for them to just, drink as a threesome. Strange choice of words, but also appropriate. Mama, stop rambling, because, again, it's one of those times where I'm about at an hour anyway, so let me know your thoughts on all that in the comment section down below. Do you think my thoughts on Botan meeting those old friends of Ibuki is going to happen so we can see her a little bit? Or, yeah, let me know all that in the comment section down below, as well as, of course, anything else on your mind, or about any other movies, shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. And of course, reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the other channels in the description, ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Patreon, which you can also subscribe to get the full unedited visuals and audio of the stuff I upload here. And same goes for Twitch in a way, to where you can follow there, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free. I really need to get back to streaming more, but we know that, and that's also why I need to get back on the recording, editing, and all that stuff, so I can worry very little about streaming when I have the time. That all said, Ben the Blades of King with King's Critique, so ta-ta for now. Peace.